I got some insane stuff to report to y'all this evening.
A war on meat.
The UN just released a study that said we're going to be okay if the vast majority of the world goes vegetarian immediately.
This is on par with winning World War II.
It's crazy.
Yes, yes, it is.
So this one's going to be about we're going to watch the videos together, first of all, and they're going to make you guys laugh. You guys are going to be shocked.
Bernie Sanders promotes a meat tax to fight climate change. A meat tax to combat climate change.
And now they're also saying we should start, eating less meat, get out of my kitchen.
Attacking your burgers.
When I heard this, I was like, are they being serious right now? Like, is this reality? Are we living on Earth?
What is this?
Get off of my ranch.
Get off of my ranch.
We have Big Macs, we have quarter pounders with cheese, we have
to make sure our government is not subsidizing the things that make us sick and unhealthy.
Bernie was saying that abortion is going to fix climate change, and then Kamala Harris was saying that diet is going to fix climate change.
None of these ideas are radical, by the way. So what you get are
getting rid of factory farming is not radical. All of these ideas are just going to make everyone's life miserable.
Some of the extreme climate change ideas 2020 Democrats are proposing.
Nope.
Check out some of their bold statements.
Do you ban plastic straws?
I think we should. Yes.
That is nothing new. A lot of states have banned plastic bags.
This is real. This is all real, ladies and gentlemen. This is what he said.
So, listen up, guys. She said
he's going to tax our bacon. He's going to tax our steaks.
That she would fix. She will literally dictate our food.
I found this video that's from Fox News.
A war on meat, a plastic straw ban, and even calls for population control. Those are
just some of the things that didn't happen at the climate town hall.
He's going to tax our fish, and by taxing it, it's going to fight climate change. How do these freaking people get into office? This blows my mind.
What about Texas, Juan?
Oh, go ahead.
What about Texas, huh? Texas. What about Texas, huh? What about Texas?
And they want to get rid of offshore drilling and eliminate coal-fired power plants.
Sounds crazy.
They are.
all right, all of you. Shh.
All these pants on fire just because of a climate town hall that CNN put on. There's a lot of misinterpreting what was said and outright lying. And why would they do this? Well, I guess they got the fear put in them. And then there's always political reasons. So let's take one more look at this issue about meat proposals on the Fox News channel and people on YouTube. See if we can understand this better. And then we'll get to Elizabeth Warren on the other side, who said something that goes in the opposite direction. And people are still lighting their pants on fire, causing a big uproar. And I think that's a little taken out of context. I don't understand what the fuss is over.
What are your plans to stop these large corporations from further usurping, or whatever that is, natural resources? We've got to look at agriculture. We've got to look at every... And it keeps going. There's some meat and potatoes on this thing. Cory Booker's a part of it, too. Cory Booker. Hey, don't AOC eat hamburgers? This is real. This is all real, ladies and gentlemen. This is what he said.
The effect of our eating habits on our environment. And we have to do a much better job of that, and the government has to do a much better job of that.
So, I'm just saying, you love cheeseburgers. We all do. I don't know whether...
This is all real, ladies and gentlemen.
But it gets better. Would you like to ban offshore drilling? Yes. Goodbye, Florida, and goodbye any chance you'll ever have of flipping Texas blue. But it does get better. Would you like to ban factory farming? Yes. Goodbye, Iowa, and goodbye, Wisconsin. So the answers were stupid, and the questions were amazing for Republicans, and everybody should thank CNN. The fact that they actually got on there and said depopulation control is crazy. That's what they do in communist China. It's a discredited theory. And
who said that? None of the candidates said that. And a grammar correction from this Republican, of which you're going to see a lot of them make these mistakes. We don't want to control depopulation. We want to control the population. And I know I would rather get out of a coal mine where you risk death and get a better job, maybe having to do with those windmills behind this. I just can't describe this guy without cursing.
In fact, the shooter and the last two mass shootings, he has subscribed to that philosophy. And now they're also saying we should start, eating less meat. Get out of my kitchen. What is this?
Get off of my ranch.
Get off of my ranch. All of these ideas are just going to make everyone's life miserable. They're going to cost trillions of dollars, and they're not going to change the Earth's temperature 1 degree.
Okay, that's the most ridiculous statement I've heard yet. Yes, it is those very things that have increased the global temperature. And reducing them will reduce the global temperature. That's the way it works, dude. I guess this guy doesn't know much about scientific principles. And our lives will be better for it. This is something I wish was brought up in this town hall. Making all these changes, getting rid of our bad habits, is going to improve your life. This is what people don't understand, and I've been teaching here for 6 years. That what's good for the planet is often good for your health, and vice versa. All these things are a win-win-win. Winfinity. Another principle they don't want to hear about because they have their addictions.
I think that's a very good point, and Michael Schellenberger
That's a very
was
good
on earlier
point
saying
that
that
fool
take
made.
all the things that they talked about, most of the things would actually increase emissions of greenhouse gases.
Fox can get somebody whose head doesn't look like a dill.
I can't believe, well, of course, Bernie's going to
this
take
guy's
this
just as
question.
bad.
I'll say it. Come on, we want to help you kill your children. It's crazy.
Yes, yes, it is. I've seen the show before, but I haven't seen it this crazy. Has Trumpism gotten this bad? This is insane. For many years, I would tune into Fox News to get, the balance. But I just can't do it anymore because this is not news and this is not even reality.
The future seems so bleak.
And it's because of your conservative party and philosophies that has gotten us into this mess.
Like, could it sound any worse? We all need to be vegetarian.
No one said that.
Living like it's World War II.
No, living healthier and more peacefully.
Drinking out of straws that don't work.
That's just really disingenuous. Kamala Harris made a good point about that. Of course, they don't want to hear good points. They just want to make the Democrats sound bad.
Give me Trump any day of the week. Make America great again.
No comment needed.
I don't want to live in this bleak.
He wants to live in a fake reality. The ancient Greeks were taken over when they were just partying all the time and not realizing what could go wrong.
Hunger Games, what they're describing.
We will all be hungry one day if we continue to bury our heads in Trump's sand. It's amazing that this guy just said that. This really is insanity here, this show.
I'll let me comment on the whole thing because I just find this such a distortion. I can't believe the things Jesse says and says that these are like true. They didn't say these things.
Yes, they did.
Just smile. Just keep lying and smiling and smiling and lying. If Trump can do it, then we can all get away with it now. See, this is what has happened to our world now. Our world is permanently screwed up because of this one monster.
And then Michael says, oh, kill babies. Nobody said anything like that.
Joe Biden said he wants to ban the combustion engine.
No, Democrats have ideas. Boy, Republicans have no ideas when it comes to...
Right, because they don't care, which is the description of a sociopathic personality, not caring.
So here are some ideas. None of these ideas are radical, by the way. So what you get are
getting rid of factory farming is not radical.
Let me just tell you, so you would be surprised at how many farmers think that factory farming, in fact, is not efficient.
Tell that to the people of Iowa, Juan.
I will
Good
tell
luck
you
there, buddy.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
And I'll tell you what, Joe Biden says he wants to get rid of every single
You can shout and keep talking over me
in this country.
Jesse, keep talking.
Coal provides 27% of electricity.
You just talk.
To reduce the consumption of red meat in light of the impact of the climate change. If elected, will you be supporting change in dietary guidelines?
As a nation, we actually have to have a real priority at the highest level of government around what we eat and in terms of healthy eating, because we have a problem in America. And we can talk about the amount of sugar in everything. We could talk about soda. We could go on and on. So the answer is yes. But I'll also say this: the balance that we have to strike here, frankly, is about what government can and should do around creating incentives and then banning certain behaviors. I mean, just to be very honest with you, I love cheeseburgers from time to time.
Okay, I now see what happened here. Unlike Fox News, which is purposefully misinterpreting, this guy just heard it wrong. It took me 3 times listening to this clip before I understood. Remember, I'll say that you should hear something 2 or 3 times before you really understand it. You had to be remembering what she said about 20 seconds before. She said we need to strike a balance between. It's just a real long sentence. There should be a balance somewhere in the middle of that. Although I would like to just state here that I am for banning meat, all meat, but I know that politically that's just not something you can just do. I think what I would do if I was president is I would slowly shift the animal food industry away from that and get them producing plant foods. And now, see what I just said there? That is the most extreme thing you're going to hear in this video, except for the lying on Fox News. But it's not extreme. It's a good thing. You know, America once went to war to get rid of Nazi death camps, and now we have them in our country. And I'm not even talking about the immigrants in cages, although that's a problem. There is 1 million things that are banned. 1 million in the U.S. There's 1 million laws, things we cannot do. And abusing animals is actually one of them, except when it comes to factory farms and the food industry.
Creating incentives that we will eat in a healthy way, that we will encourage moderation, and that we will be educated about the effect of our eating habits on our environment. And we have to do a much better job of that, and the government has to do a much better job of that.
So, I mean, I'm just saying, you love cheeseburgers. I mean, we all do. I don't know whether
you know, from time to
try
time,
the Beyond Burger,
day,
the Impossible Burger, right? They try, but it's not quite the same. That's my personal opinion. But would you support changing the dietary guidelines?
Yes.
You know, the food pyramid. What people
yes.
To reduce red meat specifically.
Yes, I would. And
She said she will literally dictate our food. She will change the pyramid that you learn in school in like 3rd grade. Here's why that's alarming. Because the scientists that have put together that food pyramid were putting facts on that food pyramid, like such as the human body needs to consume this much protein, this much dairy, this much wheat, this much sugars. That's what that thing's for. Now, Kamala Harris just said, and you just heard it, that she will go in and change the actual food pyramid, when really it's a leftist ploy. Let's talk about other facts. One other major fact. If any of your guys' friends say, climate change, here's what you need to tell them. In Greenland, there's more ice in Greenland than there has ever been in Al Gore's entire life. Fact. The amount of ice that we have up there is on a rise. And this is not fake. This is fact. Lie about the food table that our children learn about in school. We're going to change it. Because I think if we change everybody's diets, it'll fix climate change. Now, can you guys see why and how I think the left makes me lose brain cells?
You see, that's what right-wingers do a lot as a technique, half-truths. They point out one little thing. What about all the other countries and the whole rest of the world? Just leave those out. And they ignore a whole bunch of other facts so that they can create their false narrative, like the fact that Greenland is a local place. It is not global. It's global warming, not local warming. I see this happen a lot in politics and even in food circles. Diet gurus. This is what they do to lie, people. I've been saying this for years. The Republicans are like the pro-meat people, and they are pro-meat. We are now seeing that in politics more than ever, as veganism and meat reduction become political issues.
Which brings me to my next subject. The people who listen to them. The girl, I'm concerned. Like, I knew that the left was retarded as fuck. And if you're a leftist watching this, you are literally stupid. Like, something is wrong with your brain. You suffer from something. Something. And I know Trump derangement syndrome is one of those things. You can only selectively ignore so many things before you're actually fucking retarded. Before I go, I want you guys to know at the Trump Doral on October 10th through October 12th, I will be a speaker with other names such as Ricky Rebel, Donald Trump Jr., Sarah Sanders, Brennan Strzok. I know. So yeah, I'm going to go speak with these awesome motherfucking people. I'm so excited. And, hold on. I see a comment of somebody wanting to talk. So let's talk, girls. Is that actually the food pyramid is wrong. It was created by a bully cardiologist with an agenda. Should actually be flipped around. More meat. You know, I'm going to look into that. But I kind of fucking believe it.
Wait. This guy is now, after saying that the food pyramid is fact, period, is scientific, it should not be changed, and now he's saying, oh, I would believe that it needs more meat. Typical hypocritical meathead American public.
Keep talking, but I'm just telling you what. You go talk to farmers, and they'd say they prefer that there be less of that factory, big corporate farming.
We need to support the
in
family
America.
farm is the idea.
Juan, you're saying that all the things that Jesse said sounds crazy?
They are.
He repeated all of the things that they said.
Not true.
Ban plastic straw.
He twisted everything except the plastic straw one, which is not an extreme suggestion. Yeah, those are all things we should ban. They shouldn't exist. These things didn't exist. Fracking didn't exist a few years ago. We only needed offshore drilling because we needed more oil, because too many people driving cars all over the place without a care in the world.
But it's never been about abortion. It's about birth control.
You don't think talking about people should convert to veganism or vegetarianism, you don't think bringing up abortion in the context of a conversation about population control or banning fracking or banning plastic straws, none of this sounds extreme to you at all?
No, first of all, he didn't bring up abortion. He brought up birth control.
This is what worries me, because that is an indication that the Democratic Party, you are the audience for this. There is an audience for
huge.
This. This is the audience for this. And
yes.
Huge. We're here. We're vegan.
Right now,
and we're not all queer.
You know, the idea that you want to have a real discussion about climate change, it's just scary to you because it would say you have no idea.
Okay, what about offshore drilling?
We got a reporter to get
You think Florida? I heard you say Florida. Oh, Florida's lost. Guess what? The governor of Florida, Republican, said he doesn't want the offshore.
What, do you want a world that you're just surrounded by plastic junk? I remember the garbage barge. That was like 20 years ago or something. A lot of people probably don't even know that story. I don't even know whatever happened to it. Now let's hear a little bit from the crazy left and see what they're saying about this story.
Of course, is trying to mischaracterize individuals like Elizabeth Warren and what they want to do with climate change or to combat climate change. And one of the things that they keep latching onto is that these lefties are going after your straws, they're going after your hamburgers. And so in an effort to push this message out, they took a portion of Elizabeth Warren's answer from the CNN town hall last night, and they edited it down to make it appear as though
I'm going to be the president that says, when we talk about healthcare, let's not just talk about doctors and nurses, let's talk about healthy food systems and the toxins that are in our community. And so I will always be about the freedom to eat what you want, but we are going to have to make sure our government is not subsidizing the things that make us sick and unhealthy and hurt our environment.
President Trump, he footed the bill and treated the NCAA champs to burgers, fries, and pizza.
Burger King, Wendy's, and McDonald's. We have Big Macs, we have Quarter Pounders with cheese, we have
to make sure our government is not subsidizing the things that make us sick and unhealthy and hurt our environment.
I'm starting to get more about what he's saying here. You can eat Big Macs, steak, if you can afford it. Got the Trump steaks. We hear about people saying, stop forcing us to be vegan. Actually, that's impossible. People can't be forced. We could move society in that direction, just like it's been moved in the direction of meat, thanks to the meat industry lobbies. We need politics. It's not as simple as go vegan, eat all the fruit you want. Well, some people just can't do that. There's people in Flint, Michigan, that don't even have grocery stores. You would never guess that situation exists unless you heard about it. You heard about it on political TV. We need a government to fix these things. There's one party that likes to fix things by looking at the cause